What's going on, guys? A little bit different of a video. You can already tell from the title. It's obviously not a sniping video. Auction house just got back up. But I wanted to just talk to you guys real quick about short video, probably about 10 minutes, somewhere around there. We're going to talk for a little bit about what happened with the auction house. So don't forget to give your take. If you enjoy the video, a like would be appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's do a thing. What's shaking, Chewy Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back with another Madden, Ultimate Team video. Today, you can already tell from the title, the auction house is pretty dead right now. Just got back onto Xbox, and EA came out with a response on to what happened today. So, PlayStation was down, I believe, for a couple hours, PC as well. When they found out that was okay, they put those back up, and Xbox was down for another 4.5 hours before they came up. I think maybe about 3.5 hours they were up. But before we talk about this issue, let me know your guys' thoughts. I don't want to forget to ask you guys. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on what EA did with this. I'm definitely interested in reading those and just responding and interacting with you guys, because I'm sure that I'm going to be all over the place on my thoughts, and I might say something that you don't like. So let me know, what you guys are thinking on this. So first thing, let's go ahead and talk about the response that EA came out with, which is basically, obviously, the exploit happened where, if you don't know what it was, basically you were getting, I believe it was MUT rewards. You just kept getting it every time you logged in on Sunday morning. So you log in, you get, if you were legendary, you get 3,000 rings. Again, you log back, you go back out, you come back in, you get 3,000 rings, and you could just keep doing it. And there was people that got hundreds of thousands of rings, I believe, tons of rings, which is obviously a useful currency considering you can buy some packs in the store. So the fact that you could do this over and over and over and over again, and I was at church, so I was not able to. You can tell I have Xbox. My auction house is not banned, and you see my ring total is 3, that's just from solos, and the 3,000 I got from legendary status. So I did not take advantage of it. But the question is, would I have done it if I was given the opportunity? So EA decided that those who did exploit it actively, like they continue to do it over and over again, that those worst, they set a limit of number, like it was a small number. I don't know how, that's always relative. I don't know if that's 100, if that's 1,000, if that's more. But people that got banned for it, and they will be banned until their accounts can be audited, and then or until the end of the Super Bowl promo, which I think is around February 8th. So they're going to be at least 10, 12 days without the auction house. So they get everything else. They can still buy packs. They can still play head-to-head, but they won't be able to get on the auction house. What do you guys think about that? EA did this a few years ago with I believe the Randy Moss set. You could put any cards in it. You were supposed to be able to put only certain ones, but you could put any card. So people kept doing these Randy Moss, and for super cheap, because you could put like bronze in and do this. I think that's what it was. You could do it. EA did end up banning people for doing that. But if you remember back not too long ago with the snow, they messed up where they put coins instead of training. So it ended up costing like 5,000 coins to upgrade like Michael Vick all the way. Or you got all the snow was messed up. They put it as the coins instead of training. I don't know how that kind of thing happened, but EA did nothing. They said those who took advantage of it, you know what? There you go. Congratulations, you were able to take advantage of it. But here, I'm assuming the reason is that more people were affected. You could tell what happened to the market. I think that's really why EA decided to do what it did. If you looked at the market, card values fell like close to 50% on these playoff cards. So they just absolutely plummeted, which is pretty wild considering if you were able to buy those, even if you were on just buying them, if you saw those cheap prices, you had to know, like, if I was on, I probably would have at least bought those. I'm like, this is so cheap, but I wasn't on, so kind of missed out there. But EA decided that those people, because of how much it affected the MUT economy, that's what I'm guessing, they decided those deserve bans. I'm really struggling here. So I know I just recapped kind of everything that happened. I haven't really got my opinion yet. But if I was on at the time, so if I was on this morning when it happened, would I have, if I knew about the glitch, would I have done it? As a no money spent guy, as somebody who doesn't put money in the game, I don't see how I wouldn't have taken advantage of it. I believe to be a pretty honest person, but I know that's part of it. There could be repercussions for what I do. I know the EA, the law, the the fine print that says if you actively exploit the game, like, you could be banned. I understand that, but given the precedent this year that no bans, given that I know that everybody's doing it if you know it, it wouldn't make sense not to do it, especially given how much you have to put in to be able to keep up with the people that do spend money. I believe I would have done, I would have, and I would have just had to face the consequences of being banned. I don't see myself being too, this higher, like, you know what, I know it's out there, but I'm not gonna do it. Like, that would be really tough, and I don't think that highly of myself that I would have been able to resist. So I would have done it, and I would have got banned. So I do struggle with the idea that people are getting banned, just because whenever there's exploits, like, yes, it is something that in the fine print set, like, I know you can get banned, but man, it's really hard as a player not to use that because everybody else is doing it too, and the fact that there's not been any punishment for anybody this year, though it was a few years ago, they did kind of set a precedent. It does make me think, like, I mean, there's really no harm, no foul. Like, it's gonna affect the economy a little bit today, but tomorrow, a few days, like, it pretty much will go back to what it was. I make a lot of coins, but it really doesn't affect anybody's bottom line. It doesn't affect EA's bottom line. Really, it's a mistake, but we can move on. Just like the snow beast and such, the snow currency. EA decided not to do that, and they decided to lay out the bans. But with all that said, so again, definitely let me know what you guys think. With all that said, I personally am okay with them banning people. So I would have got banned, and I would have, obviously, it would have been a little tough, but I got I could play on PlayStation, or I could play on another Xbox account. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. But I could have went, it wouldn't have been that big. I could still, make auction house videos. It would stink, but my team would still be fine in 12 days. It's okay if I can't work the auction house on my main. That's fine. But I'm personally okay with them banning people. I think it is clearly an exploit. I wish that perhaps that this is used, if they're gonna do it though, they should do it more. Like, I know that sounds crazy to ban people more, but if you're gonna do it, you at least gotta be consistent. I don't think it's the right decision. I think that it is a mistake banning people, but I don't really have a huge problem with it. I understand why people would. I understand why people would be frustrated that they're nitpicking. They're picking and choosing, like, when they're going to ban people. And I think that's why it's the most frustrating is, okay, this really affected the mud economy, so we're going to ban people. The last one really didn't seem like it changed much, so we're not going to ban people, and it's kind of like whatever, which it really is not good for the consumer, that sort of attitude that EA has shown. So let me know what you guys think. I asked my wife about it because obviously she doesn't play, and she doesn't really care too much. And she originally said no, like, definitely not. But she started thinking about it, and she's like, I can understand it. I can understand why EA did it. I understand it. She's probably a more reasonable person than I. And she said she can see both sides, and I think that's the problem. I can see both sides, and the issue with that is, yes, I understand why EA did it, but from a consumer standpoint, I think usually you want to lean, if there's two sides to it, you want to usually, I would say, lean towards the side of the consumer. What is best for the consumer? What is, out of this terrible, terrible issue that's happening, what can we do to best fix it? To make the consumer, because at this point, it's like, we messed up. It's not about money right now. I mean, it is. I mean, it's always about money. It's a business. It's fine. It's about, but how can we best, today, we might lose money today, but how can we best make our consumers happy? And I just don't think that this was in the best interest of the consumer, and the way that they issued it, the way that the message read, obviously banning people, I personally don't think that's the way that they did it. But we shall see what they give for make rights if they decide to do it. I'm sure they'll extend Weekend League, perhaps, maybe solo battles, maybe do some things, or maybe they won't at all. If they're unable to do it, but I don't know yet. There hasn't been any communication on that end if they decide to fix anything there. But definitely let me know what you guys think. I know I keep saying that, but I'm really interested in seeing. I hope I didn't drag this out as longer than it needed to be. I'm just so fascinated with it. As a guy, I'm just watching on the sideline because I didn't take advantage of it. So I'm like, whatever happens, it doesn't really affect me too much. Obviously, a make right. If they give me something, I wasn't even online. Don't tell them I didn't get anything out of it if they're gonna give me something. But I wasn't even online, so I don't think I'll get anything. For me personally, I didn't play any games or anything. So anyways, hopefully you guys just have a good a good, nice discussion. I'll be there as well in the comments if you want to interact. I'll be there, so definitely leave a comment down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is not a normal Ultimate Team video, not a sniping video gameplay or anything, but why am I so happy about this? I just think it's so fascinating. It's not a good day for EA, but it is super fascinating. So thank you guys so much. That's all I got. ChewbaccaLemma.